building an app, making it work, and taking it to the App Store. That's the 4 steps we're going to do in 4 weeks. Today, we are going to focus on understanding what all needs to be set up before we get into coding. Welcome, Riddhi. Welcome, Ansh. Welcome, Shantanu. Welcome, Manan. Good to see you all here. We are just about starting this class today, and I want to take you through this whole setup process. And this can be a little intimidating if you've not done this before. Welcome, Udit. But I want to make it as simple as possible. I'm going to share all the necessary links with you in chat, and you should be able to look through all of it. Okay, let's get to it. Hi, Ansha. Hello, Manan. What we will do now is that we are going to take this very slowly. What usually happens is if you attend a class in which we start from nothing and actually finish an app by the end of 60 minutes, it might feel that too much is being done. So what we decided this time was we are going to break it into 4 steps and take it one step at a time, focusing deeply on the setup and basics of programming day. Right? So that said, let's get started. This is a special series, like I said, and there are 4 steps we are going to use to build the mobile app. Welcome, Preetam. Welcome, Kumud. Welcome, Shehzadi, Shagufta, Sayed. The 4 steps that we are going to use to build this app is the first step is going to be installation and setup and basics of Dart. What is Dart? We'll come to that in a moment. What all needs to be installed, we'll see immediately after I move to the next slide. The week afterwards, that is next Tuesday, same time, 4 o'clock, we are going to design visually an app that is going to just, you know, look like it is working, but it won't work. We're just going to make it as beautiful and as appealing as possible. Week 3, which is the Tuesday after that, is when we are actually going to make it work. And finally, week 4 of the last month, last week of this month, is when we are going to fix all the bugs that we might have found, clean it up a little more, and understand how we can host it to either App Store on iPhones or Play Stores on Androids. And we are going to go about it step by step. Today is installation, setup, and basics of programming day. So let's get to that. We are only focusing on installation, setup, and Dart basics today. What I would expect though is that once you understand what is being done and how it is being done, if you have access to a laptop and you have not set up the software, it is the first time you're attending a mobile app development class, there are 4 or 5 software that needs to be installed. It takes about 2 hours of your time. After this class, I urge you to go ahead into class number 2, you are not going to be ready to start coding. Therefore, I strongly urge you to install the applications. It does not take a lot of time. These days, internet is fast, downloads happen fast, installations are super fast, and it should be done in a matter of an hour and a half to 2 hours max, all software. Okay. Tuba, sorry, welcome. Let's go to the software that we are going to need. The first one is what is called as Flutter. Flutter is the primary thing that we need. I am going to paste a link in the chat now. This is a link that you may want to copy and save uh, on your system somewhere. Copy and paste this. This is the setup instructions. I'm going to come to that. You don't have to look at it now. I'm going to run you through that entire file, but for later reference, you should be able to download it. All right. Then we will install Flutter. We'll install VS Code, which is a place where you write your code. Think of it like Notepad or any place where you type stuff. That's what VS Code is. Link nahi aayi, Ansh? I've just pasted it, beta. I think you should be seeing it. No? Let me paste it again. Can somebody else confirm that the link has come or no? Are you seeing my chat? I'm pasting this in the chat. Are you seeing my chat? I just typed some message in chat. Can you confirm you can see that? You can't see this also. Hmm. You can. Wonder why you're not seeing the. You can see this chat, but link is not. In that, there is setup instructions and then there's a drive link. Is that visible now? Okay, perfect. All right. I'll have to unpin it for a while and keep pinning new things then. Oh, Kumud says no. Wait, let's get this technical problem sorted before we go further. I don't want you all to spend an hour with me and then not have a reference document. Anybody else facing any trouble with getting the pinned chat? Kumud, can you look at the pinned chat here on top? No. Okay, that's strange. Can somebody else copy and paste it? Shahzadi, if you can see this, could you copy and paste that link in chat once more? Let's see if Kumud can see that. Maybe something from my side. Go ahead and paste the link, please. Well, I quickly summarize this slide and we'll come back to this. Okay. Flutter is the software development kit to develop cross-platform apps. If that sounds like too many words, don't bother. Cross-platform just means you can develop both Android apps and iOS, iPhone apps. You can even develop Mac OS soft, apps. You can develop a web application. All of that using Flutter. Okay. Now, uh, VS Code is where you write the code. We have talked about that. Android Studio is where, after having typed your code in VS Code, Android Studio helps you to create the mobile apps for Android. And it gives you something called an emulator so that you don't have to keep looking at your phone while you're developing software. It will stay on the side of your phone screen. I'll show you that in a minute. That's what Android does. Xcode is the same thing, but for MacBook. So the system that I'm using today, it's a also. If you have a Windows phone, then you can develop only Android apps. But if you have a MacBook, you'll be able to create both Android and iPhone apps. And finally, you'll need some emulators and simulators. Emulator is basically an Android phone on your laptop, and simulator is basically an iPhone on your laptop. Kumud, you can see it now. Perfect. I'm glad. So this is what we are going to. What is an emulator? Think of emulator as you. I've got this phone here, right? So this phone, if I wanted to put it on my laptop as I'm developing the apps. So there's a software version. This is a hardware version. This is a physical phone. But if I extract only the software from it and put it on my laptop, that is what is called as emulator. Emulator is the term used for Android, and simulator is the term used for iPhone. They're both the same things. They're just two different platforms. Got it? Perfect. So yeah, that's what we do. Then we are going to look at how to install all of this. But I repeat, हमारे पास मी है तो मैं कौन सा बना पाऊंगा apps. Me laptop you're talking, Ansh? Me is your laptop or your phone? Phone. Phone पे development नहीं होता है, Ansh. We don't do app development on mobile phones. We do it on laptops. You will need either a Windows laptop or you will need a MacBook. दोनों में से कोई एक रहेगा तो काफी है. It needs to be a little modern. It can't be very old. It needs some 4 GB of RAM at least. You can use a computer, Kumud. Yes, computer and laptop are just computer also. If it is very old, it will be a little slow. तो थोड़ा सा struggle रहेगा to make it work. But if you have a slightly modern laptop or a computer or a MacBook, something that you have bought, I don't know, at least maximum 2 years ago, preferably 1 year ago, if you have that, you should be able to fine Kumud, you have no computer. You will need access to some computer, Kumud. Uh, where are you watching this? Are you watching this on your phone? This class, are you attending on your phone? Okay. So will you be able to arrange some computer or laptop for some time? Will you be able to access, say, your parents or somebody's laptop for a while? Yeah. If you can, then that's how we do it. Because mobile phones are not used for developing mobile apps. Mobile phones are used for using mobile apps. Development happens only on laptops or computers. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So we will take a look at all this installation. ये क्या क्या है installation, कहाँ जाना है, where all you can download this, how to install it. We'll look at all of that. And finally, remember, I have got the setup instructions pinned for now, but I'm going to remove that pin and install something else. I didn't see the Srilata. Hi, welcome, Srilata. Next, what we will need is we will need something called dartpad.dev, which is a website on which you can practice coding. So assume you are not able to install all the software and you want to practice. Then you can go to this website and you should be able to practice both. Hang on, can you also give a demo for viewing output on a phone, because I have used emulator and want to use a phone now. Now, but in the regular classes where we are doing, we will come to that with this month and you'll be able to use the phone. Oh, no audio. Wait, what happened? Oh, Manan can hear me. Can you not hear me, Kumud? Are you sure your internet is not a problem? Okay, cool, perfect. I'll carry on. So, dartpad.dev is our place on the internet. If again, you need to have a laptop. You can't do this on phone. I mean, you can. It's not fun to work on a phone coding. Coding is best done on a big screen. In fact, I routinely work with multiple monitors. So I have one laptop. On the side, I have another monitor. When I'm working from my office, I have actually two monitors plus my laptop. So the more screen space you have, the more fun coding is. But a regular computer and one laptop with one monitor, that's enough. That's a good starting point. Don't try to code on mobile and all. It's not that much fun. Okay, cool. So that said, let us uh, get into some of the stuff here. I am going to share my screen and I'm going to show you certain things now. Okay, and somebody's got to confirm that you can see my screen. What happened, Kumud? You're leaving? Bye bye. Cool. My screen is being shared. Can somebody please confirm that they can see it? Screen aa rahi hai? Perfect. I'm going to push this over to here where I have kept my other monitor, and we will take one step at a time. All right. Are you now able to see my screen that says Unacademy mobile apps with Flutter development environment setup document? Can somebody quickly confirm you can see this? Yes, perfect. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do now. Okay, and I have created a 7-page document that goes in a lot of detail to install everything that you need. Let's take it one step at a time. Okay, if you're on a Windows laptop, okay, if you're on a Windows laptop, in which case create a folder on desktop named my app code. That's the first thing you do. Okay, don't do it now. This, I'll give you this document. You can download that document on your computer now or immediately after the class. If you're watching this recorded, then the link is in the chat. Take down this document. Don't try to do it as I am explaining it, because I want you to understand it first. Once you do that, you download the Flutter SDK from the link. I've put the link in here. If you click on this, the link will work. This is where it will take you, flutter.dev. And if you go here, this is where the thing works. So if I want to click on get started, I have an option to download either for Windows or for Macs or for Linux or for Chrome OS, depending on which uh, you know app, which platform you are using. If you are say Windows, it's going to give you some requirements. It says, okay, to be able to run this, you will need Windows 7 SPI. It will also say you will need about 1.5 GB of space. It'll say you will need some tools like PowerShell and stuff like this. And in here is the link. If you click on this, what will happen is it will ask you to download something called Path. So you click on this, what will happen is it will ask you to download something. I'm not going to do it now because I already have it installed. But once you click on that, download that, unzip it, and follow the instructions. So what do we say? Say extract the downloaded zip to the My App Code folder created in the pre-setups. Then you have to set something called a path variable. And pay attention now because this is where most people commit some mistakes because of which things stop working. You have to go to specifically this place, this My App Code, wherever you have created. If you don't like creating on desktop, go create it in the D drive or C drive or C/code or wherever you create it, remember it where you have created that. Once you have done that, I want you to go here /flutter/bin. I've shown you, for example, I had it on use desktop, My App Code. In there is Flutter and bin. Once you go there, you copy this. You click on it like this in this path, copy that, Command C or right click like this and copy or whatever. Don't copy what I am showing, copy this path that I just explained. Okay, once you keep that path copied, then you have to press the Windows key and type env in the search bar and click edit environment variables for your account. If you type the touch the Windows key on your keyboard, I don't have it on my Mac, but you will have it on your Windows keyboard. Once you touch that, what you're going to see is a box comes up where you can type env, and as soon as you do that, you will get an option that looks like this. Click on that, edit environment variables for your account. You click on that, it will open a dialog box that looks like the screenshot. Advanced system protection, remote, and all will be there. Click on advanced and look all the way to the bottom where it says environment variables. Once again, all of this is in the document. You don't have to remember any of this. You can follow the instructions on the document. Okay. In the window, you have to do this where you find something called path. You click on the edit on that one and you come here and you will see something like this. Then you click on new, paste it, and you are set. This is the slightly complicated part. As soon as you have done this, you should be, everything else becomes very, very simple. Just make sure that you get this part right. It takes about 2 minutes of your time, but it is definitely going to make life simple going forward. So follow these instructions carefully. After that, it's all straightforward. We go to step 4 is download and install Android Studio. If I click on this link, it's going to take me here. No, it's going to take me here, I think. Yeah. And then I have an option to download Android Studio. For me, it is suggesting Mac. And because if you have a Windows laptop, it might suggest you the Windows one. Just download that and install that. That is step 4. Simple, straightforward, done. In Android Studio, under the configure menu, once you open Android Studio, right, you're going to find a screen that looks like this. Configure, you click on that. It allows you to download something called Flutter. You search for Flutter, and as soon as you search for Flutter, it's also going to suggest that it's going to install the Dart plugin also, and you say yes, and you're good to go. Okay, again, all simple, straightforward stuff. Once you're done, close it off, and you're good to go. Step number 6 is Visual Studio Code. If you click on this, it will take you here. Once again, you can install whatever you want from this, either Windows or Linux or Mac. Click on this and install the stable version. Once you have done that, installed it, once again, you open Visual Studio. If you open here and this button, it looks like this. You can search for something. Flutter and Dart, as you can see, I have these two installed. You will have to install them. You have to search for Flutter. Once again, once you do that, it will suggest that, it will install Dart also. You say yes, and you're done. That is the 6-step process. The 7th step is some housekeeping that you may have to do. You have to open command prompt, and how you do that is type the Windows key, type CMD, that's CMD for command, and in there type this as is: flutter space doctor space hyphen Android hyphen licenses dash dash Android dash licenses. Hit enter, press Y each time it asks you a question, and you're good to go. This document is shared in your screen and you're good to go. If you are using a Mac, everything else remains the same. The only thing that changes is step 2. Step 2, where you set the path terminal slightly differently. You open the terminal, type echo $shell. If it says bash, then follow the steps below. If it says Z shell, depending on your configuration, it may say one or the other. And just follow these instructions. The terminal, type cd $home, type nano.bash underscore profile. This is when you are editing a file. You go here, and this path right here, you're going to add this to the step 1 is Flutter, step 2 is uninstalling, extracting the downloaded file. Step 3 is what we just discussed. Step 4 is Android Studio. Step 5 is a Flutter plugin in Android Studio, and pretty much the same thing. And finally, step 6, because you have a Mac, you may want to install Xcode as well. Welcome, Nikita Singh. Good to see you here. Install the latest stable version of Xcode. And that looks like this. If you go to the Xcode website, you've got all the details here, and you can download Xcode 12. That is the most recent version. And you do that. After you have done it, you may want to type some of these sudo codes. Again, all straightforward, copy paste. Don't think too much about this, because you're just going to do this once. Once you've done it, it's all good to go. All right. And with that, the same thing what we did: open the terminal, type Flutter Doctor Android licenses, press Y to accept every license, and we are good to go. This entire process should not take more than 90 minutes to 120 minutes, including downloads, installations, configurations, everything. You've got an entire week to do this. Please do this before you come to the next class. You're going to have a lot more fun doing that. Okay. I hope this made sense. And this is the 5 installations. Okay. The next thing we want to do is, like I said, we are going to spend some time understanding some basic coding. Once again, I have done an entire class on Unacademy special class. I think this was 2 weeks ago. If you go search on my name, that should be accessible freely. It's also available on the Creative Corner YouTube channel, that class. That would be a place to go and learn all the coding that you may want to do. What we are going to do today is a quick summary of the stuff that we are going to learn. We want to spend the next half an hour doing that, but you cannot build proper apps without knowing some good programming. And I've done my best to teach the basics of Dart. I've done, and even this session I'm going to teach some. And you should be able to manage with what we are doing in this session. At what site, sir? Nikita is saying. For what, Nikita? Are you talking about? Are you talking about the coding fundamentals lesson? Welcome, Devansh. Good to see you here. Nikita, if you're asking for the coding fundamentals, that's a special class on Unacademy. You should be able to search for my name, and you should be able to find it. Name of YouTube channel is Creative Corner. Let me just give you the link to that. Hang on. YouTube. Yeah, think I've got this right. Here we go. This is the channel here. This is the YouTube's Creative Corner channel for YouTube. So you can go here, and you should be able to, find a lot of these details there also. The I have done a full 90-minute class. In fact, I actually went for 90 minutes of in-depth programming and coding learning on Dart. I think you should definitely follow that if you're new to coding. And once you come back, you should be in a good shape. All right. That said, uh, let's get to some more of the setup that we need to do. Okay. First of all, by the way, you while I strongly suggest that you do all of this, know that you do not have to do this to. Yeah, sure, Nikita, I'll wait. What I was going to tell was that you don't have to install all of this before you start coding. It is necessary to do all of this to ensure that the code works on your mobile app. But just to practice some coding, just to learn some coding, there's a super cool website, and that is what we are going to explore today. I'm going to wait a little time, Nikita, and as per your request, and we'll do that. The website I'm talking about is what is called as Dartpad, and I'm going to post the link to that, dartpad.dev, and I'm going to go there, dartpad.dev. And if I go here and if I say new pad, I will be able to select either Dart or Flutter. We'll do this in 5-10 minutes, but I want to go to Dart now. Dart is where we are learning the basics of coding. Again, I'm not going to go really deep today. I'm going to spend very little time in giving you an overview. I've done a very detailed class in the past, and I would strongly urge you to go there if you are new to programming. Jyoti SK, welcome. Welcome. Okay, Sakshi, fine. Okay, I'm not going to get too far, but rather than just keeping quiet, I'm going to do something now, which is that look at this website, dartpad.dev/dart. There are two options. There is a /flutter and /dart options here. /dart. Dart is a programming language, by the way. Hang on. Let's start with that. Dart is a programming language that has been built with a big support from Google. I can almost say built by Google, although that wouldn't be entirely accurate, but it doesn't matter. Dart is a very powerful programming language, and in it, you will be able to create, you know, the mobile apps that we are going to do today. Uh, wait. Nikita has a question, sir. If we is we only have to install VS Code, and in VS Code we have to install Flutter for Windows 7? No, Nikita, you will have to install all of the software that I just discussed. You'll have to install Flutter. you'll have to install Android Studio. That much you definitely need. Okay, to create Android apps. Since you have Windows, you cannot install Xcode. So ignore this. These three software you have to install: Flutter, Android Studio, and Visual Studio. Make sense? Today is a more leisurely class where we are clearing all doubts. Next week onwards, we are going to get into full-time coding. I'll show you a little bit of coding today so that you don't feel that you have missed out on a practical lesson. Cool. Nikita, you know what? I think I'll have to start. Sakshi will have to catch up if you don't mind. Cool. So Dart is a programming language, and like I said, I have built a full 90-minute session on Unacademy. You can find it on YouTube channel. You can find it wherever you go. Pause, practice along with me there, and you should be able to get a good hold of the programming language itself. Okay. Now, Dart is something that Flutter uses. What does Flutter do? Flutter uses Dart to build mobile apps. Just so we are all clear on what is happening here, Flutter is using a programming language called Dart to build mobile apps and games. Okay. Now, Dart exists without Flutter, but Flutter cannot exist without Dart, which means that you have to learn Dart for mobile app development. There are other ways of doing mobile apps. There is something called React. There is something called Angular. There is lots of other ways in which you can. There is native app development, as it is called. There is something called Swift for Android, iOS. There is Java for Android. But what Flutter does is that rather than you having to learn multiple languages, you can only learn Flutter. It's simpler to learn. Flutter is simpler to learn, and you'll be able to create some really cool apps using just this. I'll show you an example of that today, right now. All right, here we go. This is what it is. I think Flutter is also easier to learn. Manan says, yes, Manan. Yes, thank you. Flutter is definitely easier to learn compared to many other languages or SDKs rather. In fact, the best part of Flutter is that you can actually build code in browsers like this. You see this? I'm writing Flutter code here straight away, and it is appearing here like I have installed everything that I told. Installed Flutter, install Android Studio, install Visual Studio, all of this. You will still need to do it, but as a practice, you can do it here. As I have learned it quicker. Yes, yes, Manan. And also, you can't forget the fact that if you know one programming language before, it becomes simpler to learn another programming language, because about 75 to 80% of all features in any programming language are same. Okay, and we have discussed these concepts in the past. There are concepts like, you know, variables, right? There is concepts like conditionals. There is operators. There is loops. There is functions. All of these are concepts. They might have different names. So if I have something called a function here, some other programming language may call it a subroutine. And then finally, there is class, which is basically, rather than saying class, I'll say object, an object-oriented programming method that is there everywhere. Again, these are the few concepts. And what I have is the 90-minute session I just told you that has 5 of these covered in a lot of detail. What are variables? What type of variables are there? Within variable types, you may have something like numbers. You may have strings, which is basically, I'll not say string, let's just say text. There is numbers, there is text, there is yes, no, or true, false, also called as Boolean. No, there is something called an array or a list, which is just a collection of many things. Nikita is asking, is Flutter and Android Studio free? Yes, yes, Nikita, they're both free. They're both released by heavy support from Google, and they encourage you to use them and build mobile apps to put on their play stores. So they make it free for you, so that you don't have to worry about the initial investment. Okay, and if you develop apps that become successful and you make money from apps, then Google will take the cut from you for the apps that you are selling. That's how they make money. So for that purpose, they have kept everything as free. All right. Then, and just to finish this, there is something called a map. All right. And now I have, how do I say, conditionals. So in here, I might say something like, I might say something like this here. If this happens, then that happens. For example, I might say, if put her or him in class number 6 or 7 or whatever class it is. So these are conditions, right? If marks are greater than 90, then grade is equal to A plus, right? If else grade is equal to B or something. So this is what is called as a conditional. Now, conditionals can be something like just if something happens, or you can say something like if else. If this, if something is true, then do this, else or otherwise do that, right? And there is something called if, else if, another else if, then some more, and finally an else. What does this mean? It would be something like if you have a marks which are more than 90, then give it A plus. If marks are less than 90 but greater than 80, then give them A. If it is greater than 8, less than 80 but greater than 70, then give it B plus. Stuff like that. So this is where you build a tree of conditionals, as it is called, right? And there will be something like can do checks. Is this equal to this? Is it greater than this? Is it less than this, and so on? This symbol is used to create comment in program or you're writing comments or programs. I am doing this to write a comment, Nikita. Welcome, Shashi. The thing is, anything that I write after this, which is a comment, means that the program will not execute it. For example, if I click on run now, it's going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5. So, however, no matter what I write here, it is not going to consider it. It is only for the human reference. A comment is only for humans. Whatever is in the comment, the computer is going to ignore it. All right. So there is this. And again, I'm only giving you very surface level details now. You should definitely go and check out the full session I have done, because that's where I go into details. Okay, we talked about operators: greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to. All of these are operators. Saying something like, if saying name is equal to Enola, let us say, if I say that is a operator as well. It's an equal to operator. So if I say if name is equal to uh, Abhilash and uh, company is equal to something, then do this. So I'm saying and is an operator because it is joining two things now. So that's one thing. Then there is something called loop, which is what this is. So for is a loop, and it is saying run this for 5 times. What is it? start with I is equal to 0, and until I is less than 5, keep increasing I by 1. That's what this is doing. And then what will happen? It starts with 0. Is it less than 5? Yes, it is. So I do print hello I plus 1. So that becomes hello 1. You're not able to understand, Nikita? I can, beta, again, like I said, this needs a deeper understanding. Don't bother too much with this, but you have to assure me you will go and watch that long video. There you will understand, because I'm going to go in very, very detail there. Just this concept, no, this variables concept or conditional concept, about 20 minutes I will take to fully understand, Nikita. This is just to understand what all is involved in it. But if you promise to go and watch that video, the next time you come to the class, all of this will start making sense. Shantanu Vidhate says, what is debugging? Where did you hear debugging? Did I say debugging? Now mind. Debugging is basically, how do I say? Whenever I'm writing a code, right, I make some mistake. Okay, let's do this. There was a semicolon, there was a semicolon here, this part. Okay, and that ends this line. Yeah. Now, as I'm typing, let us say I forget to type the semicolon. And if I try to run this, then what's going to happen is it will not say hello one, hello two. Instead, it says error compiling to JavaScript main dot dart 327. It says, so observe this one, 327 main dot dart. Now this file is called main dot dart. 327 means line number 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is line number 3. And 27 means, let's see what it means. This is 27th character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Do you see this? On line number 3, 27th character, it says there's an error. What is that error? Expected a semicolon after this. It's saying it expected a semicolon after this part, and it even puts this arrow here and says, you see this bracket closing? After this, I expected to see a semicolon. You cannot run this program, but if you fix it, then I will run it. So if I hit this and run, then the error will go away and it will work. What I did just now, Shantanu, this entire process that I did, this process is called debugging. Does that make sense? Jenny K and Dharmit Shah, welcome. So yeah, so we got loops, functions are these. And again, I'm not going to go too in depth today, because like I said, there is a full class out there that you want to see. And once you understand what functions are, think of functions as small operators or helpers which are inside your code. Okay, so you will ask them something. If the function name is called add numbers, right, it'll do something for you. Let's take a look. Again, don't bother to understand everything I'm doing right now. Just see what I'm doing. If I say int, int means integer, which is a number, add numbers, and I say int first number, comma, int second number. If I do this, okay, this add numbers is basically a function. Okay, that's what a function means. Add numbers is the function. Now let us say add 2, 6. If I write here, yeah, first number I've said it is 2 because it is expecting first number, comma, second number. I'm giving it first number, comma, second number here. Now it is expecting first number, comma, plus, let's not say directly print. Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to say uh, int sum of numbers is equal to first number plus second number. That's what I said just now. Yeah. And I say return sum of numbers. So what has happened here is that I have said accept two numbers, first number and second number. Then add both of them. That will give me the sum of numbers. And I'm saying return. Now, the job of this function now, think of this function like a helper who's sitting on a table somewhere, and you go give that person two numbers. Take this two, take this six, tell me what the sum is, right? And that person's job would then be to take those two numbers, add them together, and return the sum back to you. Okay. And you can basically say print add numbers 2 comma 6. And if I do this and run, what's going to happen is that on the console I'm going to see number 8, right? Instead of this, if I say 12 comma 12316 or whatever, and I run, now this person or this function called add numbers does not care about what numbers you are giving. It has a specific job, and that job is to add two numbers and return it back to you. And that's all it does. It takes those two numbers. Once again, observe what is happening here. You said add numbers 12 comma 12316. Okay, add numbers. I'm calling that guy. Numbers, add and give it back to me. I say 12. It asks, what is the second number? I say 12316. It's like, perfect. I needed two numbers. We've given two numbers. Thank you very much. It will do a plus operator on it. And once it does it, takes this number and returns it back to me. And I'm saying, whatever this person returns, whatever this function returns, just print it. And I printed it. And the answer is 12328. And that's what a function does. Janvi Shukla, welcome. Good to see you here. So, like I said, these are a few things that we will need to understand before we start getting into programming. Another big advantage of Dart is that it's a simple language to learn. Okay, so once you learn that, I want to give you a bit of a hint about what all we are going to do in the next 3 sessions now. Quickly answer a couple of questions here. Nikita Singh says, can write using calculator, add them and then print them. So why we are using this one? Good question, Nikita. How do you think the calculator has been programmed? Somebody built that calculator, right? And again, I'm doing some simple stuff now. We can do it on Android phone or not. Janvi is asking, can we can do it on Android phone or not? What, Janvi? Are you asking if you can build mobile apps on Android phone or use mobile apps on Android phone? Just finish Nikita's question first. Why are we using this one? The reason we are using this one, Nikita, is that this is the beginning of something. What we are doing now is the first level basics. Okay. What we will do is that once we learn this, it's like asking when there are already books written, why should I learn ABCD? Someday you want to write a book yourself. That's why you need to learn the basics. The programming basics are stuff that everybody has to learn because we can use that knowledge to create our own applications. Does that make sense, Nikita? The why is simple. The why is like this. Why do you learn anything for that matter? Why should I learn how to ride a bicycle? There are cars already. Why should I learn to do anything when there are better options? The reason we do that is because that is how learning is. It starts from the basics, then it goes step by step by step, and finally, someday you will be able to, I don't know, build a better car. But it has to start somewhere, and that today is that start. Today is where we are starting. Okay. Janvi, I will answer your question. Build. No, Janvi, you cannot build uh, mobile apps from phones. Phones are meant for installing mobile apps, but you need a laptop or a computer to build a mobile app. Do you have access to a laptop or a computer, Janvi? Will you be able to get it for like half an hour to 1 hour a day? Or do you have one of your own which you can use whenever you want? If you can, then you should definitely consider starting spending time. You have to buy. But will you be able to use somebody's laptop in the meantime to access? Because app development has to happen on laptops or computers only. You can't do any of this on the phone. All right, if you have access, perfect. Start spending time learning some basics. And I keep saying this to everyone all the time. I'll say it one last time, which is that you cannot by typing code. Coding is just like any other skill. It's like cycling or running or doing, physical exercise. You can't watch somebody else riding a bicycle all day long. You will not learn it. You have to, get on the bicycle yourself. You have to pedal, fall once or twice, make a mistake, and then you slowly learn it. That's how coding is. But once you have learned it, once the basics are there, it takes a little bit of effort. Think of it like I have a 5-year-old son. For the first 2 years, it was such a struggle for him to take one step and walk. But once he got to start walking, then everything started fast. So coding is like that. Approach it like that. Learn the basics, and once you're done, you will have a lot of fun being very creative and making some amazing things. On that note, I am going to stop sharing, and I'm going to bring this presentation screen back. And Janvi says, thanks for your help and support. Of course, it's down to you, Janvi. I can only talk to you and give you some ideas. At the end of the day, you need to practice. Nitya Swami, welcome. You're coming at the very end of this session. I hope you go back and watch the video once more. We have covered quite a lot of ground on this one. Anyways, so we're coming towards the end of this session. This was supposed to be an introductory session, giving you some ideas on what to do and what to practice and all of that. But I want to leave you with an image of what we are actually going to build. In the next class, which is next Tuesday, we are going to build something called a study planner app. The app is going to look like this. It's going to have on the top arrows, left and right arrows. When I do this, the previous week or the next week will come up. The current date is going to be shown, and on the current date, and I'm going to learn about Shakespeare and his influence on literature for 30 minutes. And once I'm done reading it, I tap on this button, the button goes green. It is red by default, but when I click it, it becomes green. You'll be able to edit it. You'll be able to add a new subject. So every day you can plan what you're going to study, put that information on your study planner app, and use it every day in your class. This is what we are going to build. Nikita, you have a question. You will watch this video again, and I had a question. What is the question, Nikita? If you have something now, ask me now. Make this one on Dart website. Yes, Nikita, you can make it on the Dart website, but you will not be able to export it to mobile phone, and it is a little slow. Not little slow, it's very slow. It's good for how do I say? It's good for once in a while to learn basics only. But if you want to do anything a little more serious, for example, if we plan to build this one next week, right? I will not be able to build this on the website, Dartpad. Okay. Janvi says, can we publish this application on Play Store or not? Yes, Janvi. When you have a laptop, when you write this, when you create this, I'm going to show you in 3 weeks how to build it and be able to publish it. It does cost a little money to publish an app, so you'll have to spend that money if you want to, but we are going to get there. We are going to get to a point where you can host the thing on the Play Store. Shantanu is asking, debugging and syntax error is same. Shantanu, no. Debugging is the process of solving errors. Syntax error is whatever was shown. That there is some mistake you made, you did not add the semicolon, or you forgot to add the semicolon. That is when you have a syntax error. Debugging is the process. It's trying to look at the code and saying, okay, what have I done here? What did I miss here? Figuring that out and fixing that problem. That process is called debugging. Yeah, cool. So this is the app that we are going to build. I hope this is going to be a lot of fun for all of you, because next week we're going to start from this and we are going to build this. Nikita is asking, is this Flutter or Python? I think it's Flutter. It's Flutter, Nikita. We don't do Python in this class. We only use Flutter. Okay. Cool. So Study Planner app is the one we are going to build. And that's it. We have now been able to finish the first step in the 4-step process. To reiterate, the second step is going to be when we build the visual design of it. Next week, 4 o'clock on Tuesday is when we are going to start building the visual part, which is going to look just like this. We're going to reach this point, make it look like this. It will not be functional. It will look like this only. And then the week after that is when we are going to make it work. That is when clicking on the buttons and all of that will start working. In the 4th week is when, whenever you build any program, whenever you write any code, uh, the first time on, there is always some or the other bug in it, right? So we're going to fix those bugs and we are going to learn how to host it on App Store, iOS, and Play Store on Android. And that should be that. Okay. And we are done for the day. This is all I wanted to cover today. I think we have covered this. Once again, I repeat the 4th time, go back and learn the basics of programming from the session I have done, the 90-minute session. It's going to help you a lot. I do have an announcement which I'll hold on to as soon as I yes, but you are still in the very early stages, beta. You are in level 1. We are just learning ABCD. We can write a novel, yes, but we have to learn the basics, the grammar, the syntax, all of that. Eventually, I hope, yes. Come join the class. I have not seen you in the class. If you have a Plus membership, then definitely come and join. We do regular classes. I've already done about 24 classes. I have 12 more scheduled in which we are going to do a lot of things. The announcement I have, Janvi, then you should start coming more frequently to the classes. I don't think I've seen you much in the class. Anyways, so this is my announcement. Manan, to answer your question, yes, we do have an assignment for today. Creative Corner, for people who do not have a Plus, membership. This is a place where you get access to lots and lots of stuff. You get access to beyond school syllabus like Vedic maths, robotics, coding, negotiation, financial literacy, chess. This obviously part of it I am taking. There is another educator who's taking sessions on Python. We have classes for doodling. We have classes on music, magic tricks. We have effective communication, debating, public speaking, all of these classes. Storytelling is there, poetry is there. All of these are part of the Plus subscription. You get access to all of these when you sign up for this. You can use my referral code to, if you don't have the Plus membership, if you buy the membership using my referral code, you'll get a 10% discount. In fact, refer your friends also, they'll get a discount. Ask them to come along for the special free classes. If they like it, they can definitely join. These are the prices from 1 month, 6 months, 15 months, 18 months, 24 months. These are already highly discounted. And you get 10% more discount on top of all of this. Nikita says, I really like your classes. Thank you, Nikita. That is so nice of you. Thank you. Then join the official Creative Corner Telegram group. I'm going to paste a link to that also. This is where we do all sorts of announcement. Here we go. Come join this, and you should get access to a lot of stuff. Uh, we start with idle in coding. I'm not sure what that means, Shantanu. Can you repeat your question? And this is today's homework, by the way. Okay. Use all the concepts we learned today, rewind and watch again if needed. Build a Flutter app UI. You don't have to build the app UI today, although you can, start practicing on Dartpad, make a recording of that. As you're coding, have somebody record you from the back, and you're explaining, see, this is where I did this is where I did that. This is a function that I've just written. I showed you an add numbers function. Maybe you can create a subtract number function, or a multiply number function, or a divide number function. Do that, explain that to the camera, turn around, talk to the camera a bit, then show the screen, and that'll be fun. So make a video like that and then share it with us. I'm going to paste a link for uploading that assignment. If you upload an assignment, hang on one second while I paste this code. This is where you can upload your assignment. And once you do that, what will happen, I'm going to pin this now. This is where you submit the assignment, and if you do well, we are going to feature you as star creator. I think Manan has got a video on it already. Make your video, share it with us, become a part of this, and I have already pasted the link to the YouTube channel. And what you can do is you can you know subscribe to that, submit your video assignment, and if it's good, we're going to feature you as a star creator. Manan says 3 videos. Yeah, yeah, actually I saw 2 videos of you. I don't know the third video, but 2 I have already seen. But yeah, so this is what I want to talk today. I hope you guys are suitably excited, whether you were part of the live sessions. Thank you very much for coming, or you watch this recorded session. Come prepared a little for the next session, do a little bit of practice, make that video. Come, you know basically, how they say, fall in love with coding. Coding is a lot of fun. uh, you're going to have a lot of fun doing this, and I wish you a very, very happy coding. And I will see you next week, 4 o'clock, and we are going to build something amazing. Yeah. And in fact, I'm going to leave this with that presentation screen. This is what we are going to build tomorrow. The app is going to look like this, and from start, from zero, from nothing, we are going to start, and we are going to build in 60 minutes something that looks exactly like this. I hope you're excited for this, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye bye. Thanks everybody who was in the live class. Bye bye.